The second tool is consequences. Now, consequences should only be applied, first of all, if a rule is broken. A consequence is applied primarily when a rule is broken. So the important thing about a consequence is it must be tied directly to the problem. Here's a classic thing. The child doesn't do his homework, so there's no ice cream. There's no relationship. You have to have a clear relationship between the infraction, what the child did that wasn't right, and what's going to happen as a result of it. So, for example, the parent has a child riding her bicycle, and the parent sets up rules and says, this is the boundary, this is as far as you can ride your bicycle in the driveway. And you even draw a line. When I was a parent, I drew a chalk line on the driveway. Kids are just going to say, let's see what'll happen if I go over the line. That's what they're wired to do. They want to know who's flying the plane. So the child rides over the line to see what you're going to do, and now a consequence needs to be applied. And in this case, the best consequence would be that the child will lose the use of the bicycle. There's no yelling, there's no screaming, there's no punishment. You don't take ice cream away or they lose a toy. It's so silly. And I say it's silly because we just don't know what to do. Parents are really frustrated. And this makes it even harder for them because they've got to figure out what is tied directly to the problem. So do you have any examples, either of you, about the preschool environment using consequences?
A lot. I use this a lot in reminding children how to play in an area or what we do in an area. For instance, if they're in blocks and they are flinging the cars so that they're going off the blocks into a ramp and they're flying across the room. Go back over, remember how we play with this? And they'll repeat, keep them down on the floor, and says, okay, what's going to happen if we do this again? And I always put myself as a we, so they know that we're all playing together and it's not just, I'm not just attacking one child. Oh, I'm going to have to leave this area. So when the car goes flying again, I'll walk over. Oh, I saw the car go flying. You know, it's going to have, what has to happen now, you have to leave the area. And them having to leave an area or stop playing is more upsetting with them, and they get the point quicker that way.
Okay, excellent. So there's things we can do in both environments. We just have to think consciously about the relationship between the things.
Exactly.
Okay, so of all the things that we discussed in this segment, please remember that if a consequence is not directly related to the problem, it's not likely to work effectively. Coming up in the next segment, you're going to learn why saying no to your child can actually backfire and what you should begin saying instead. Stay with us. Through the break, we'll be right back.